In the freezing Ural Mountains, 9 hikers vanished under baffling and supernatural circumstances. Tonight, we uncover the eerie truth behind the Dyatlov Pass incident. On a cold February night in 1959, 9 experienced Russian hikers mysteriously died in the Ural Mountains. Their tent was found torn from the inside, and their bodies scattered, some with strange injuries and inexplicable levels of radiation. Locals whispered about terrifying lights in the sky, strange sounds, and ghostly apparitions. Was it a secret military experiment, a natural disaster, or something paranormal beyond our understanding? Join us as we explore the chilling theories and eerie evidence surrounding the Dyatlov Pass incident, a case that continues to haunt the world's imagination. To truly grasp the mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident, we need to step back to the winter of 1959 in the Soviet Union, specifically the Ural Mountains region, an area known for its harsh and unforgiving climate. A group of 9 experienced hikers, mostly students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, set out on a challenging trek to reach Unraveling, a mountain about 10 kilometers north of the site where the tragedy later unfolded. Their journey began in late January with excitement and determination, but it soon turned fatal under conditions that even veterans found extreme. Over subsequent days, a series of events unfolded that would eventually baffle decades of investigators and amateurs alike. The group was equipped and skilled, making the oddities surrounding their demise even more puzzling. When they failed to return by the scheduled date, a large-scale search was initiated. It wasn't until February 26, nearly 2 weeks later, that rescuers discovered their abandoned tent on the slopes of Kalat Siakal, which ominously translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. The tent was slashed from the inside, and the hikers' belongings were left scattered, as if they fled in a sudden panic. Over the next days, the search parties found their bodies under bizarre and chilling conditions, some partially dressed, some with severe trauma inconsistent with a typical accident, and others inexplicably bearing traces of radiation. The sequence of the hikers' deaths, from hypothermia and exposure to mysterious injuries, paints a vivid timeline that deepens the enigma, making it clear this was no ordinary mountain disaster. This timeline and context anchor the incident in a very real physical and historical setting, opening the door to all the strange theories that have since emerged. One compelling avenue of investigation revolves around the environmental and geological anomalies present in the area surrounding Dyatlov Pass. The weather conditions and terrain play a crucial role in shaping what might have happened that fateful night. Experts and enthusiasts alike have noted that the Ural Mountains are home to unusual geological features, including rare magnetic anomalies and unstable snow conditions. Such magnetic disturbances could potentially interfere with navigational equipment, disorienting even seasoned hikers and forcing them to react erratically. Additionally, the region is known for its sudden and extreme weather shifts, which could produce phenomena like powerful katabatic winds, cold, downhill gusts capable of sudden, dramatically severe impacts on exposed campers. Snow slab avalanches, another natural hazard common to this mountainous environment, might explain injuries caused by blunt force trauma, seemingly inflicted without external weapons or human intervention. These avalanches can produce a sudden collapse of the snowpack, burying victims or forcing them to abandon their tent quickly, exactly as seen in this case. Furthermore, some researchers propose that seismic activity, including minor earthquakes or tremors linked to geological faults in the area, might have contributed to the unsettling conditions, triggering landslides or rockfalls. Such movements could also create odd sounds or vibrations, inducing fear and confusion among the hikers. Intriguingly, the presence of elevated radiation levels found on some of the hikers' clothing adds another layer of complexity, possibly tied to naturally occurring radioactive materials in the ground or remnants of military testing in the vicinity. When all these elements are combined, the environment paints a portrait not just of natural beauty, but of inherent danger and unpredictability. These environmental and geological anomalies provide a plausible framework that helps explain the hikers' extreme reactions and the mysterious injuries, laying the groundwork for exploring other theories to uncover the truth behind this tragic incident. Eyewitness accounts and testimonies from locals and search teams add a deeply personal and often puzzling layer to the Dyatlov Pass mystery. While direct witnesses to the event are non-existent since the hikers were in a remote location, reports from those who arrived soon after the incident paint haunting pictures of the scene and clues that confound straightforward explanations. Some locals describe strange lights or glowing spheres seen in the sky around the time of the tragedy, suggesting phenomena that could range from natural atmospheric events to more speculative ideas like unidentified flying objects. These accounts, though unverified, intensify the intrigue and underscore how the unknown can take many forms. Moreover, the search and rescue teams recall an eerie silence in the area, broken only by unexplained noises or sudden changes in weather that seemed almost supernatural. The state of the hikers' bodies also raises questions that eyewitness impressions emphasize. Some appeared frozen in fear, while others showed signs of extreme distress inconsistent with typical survival scenarios. Psychological experts propose that if the hikers were subjected to intense environmental stress combined with inexplicable events, their behavior might have reflected panic or irrational responses leading up to their attempts to escape the tent. Additionally, tales from nearby indigenous communities reference ancient legends tied to the mountain region, stories of spirits or curses that add a cultural dimension to how the tragedy is viewed and remembered. Though these accounts do not provide hard evidence, they influence how investigators and enthusiasts interpret the mystery, often blurring the line between known facts and folklore. In some, eyewitness accounts, whether lived experiences or passed down stories, deepen the complexity of this enduring enigma and naturally lead us to consider both scientific explanations and more speculative theories as we strive to understand the true story behind what happened at Dyatlov Pass. The physical evidence found on the Dyatlov hikers, particularly regarding their clothing and injuries, provides some of the most chilling and perplexing clues in this mystery. For starters, the condition of their clothing suggested exposure to extreme cold with several layers torn or removed, which is unusual for people in such a harsh environment. Some clothes were found to be cut open with knives, and in certain cases, radioactive contamination was detected on the fabric, compounding the mystery. The severity and nature of the injuries paint an even more unsettling picture. Several hikers suffered fractures to the ribs and skull, akin to high-impact trauma, but puzzlingly, there were no external wounds to explain such force. One victim even had their tongue missing, further baffling investigators as it suggested something violent but without clear cause. At the same time, other hikers exhibited signs of hypothermia and frostbite consistent with prolonged exposure to bitter cold. These opposing types of injuries, the violent internal damage alongside classic cold-related symptoms, have led to theories ranging from avalanche impacts and deadly animal encounters to secret military testing involving unknown weapons. Medical examinations of the remains showed no signs of struggle or defensive wounds, suggesting that whatever caused the injuries might have been sudden and overwhelming rather than a fight for survival. The unusual state of the clothing, combined with the bizarre nature of the injuries, underscores the difficulty of applying a single explanation. This tangible physical evidence, measured and analyzed with forensic rigor, pulls us deeper into the enigma and naturally sets the stage for reflecting on all the elements of the case together as we attempt to piece together the final truth behind the Dyatlov Pass tragedy. The involvement of Soviet authorities in the Dyatlov Pass case adds another complex layer to an already baffling mystery. From the very beginning, the investigation was tightly controlled and shrouded in secrecy, with official records heavily redacted or lost over time, feeding widespread speculation. As soon as the hikers were found, Soviet investigators quickly concluded that the cause was an avalanche. But this explanation did not satisfy many experts or observers, especially given the inconsistencies in the physical evidence. The authorities' swift closure of the case and the lack of transparency spawned rumors about a possible cover-up, whether to conceal sensitive military experiments in the area or to avoid panic due to the inexplicable nature of the injuries. Eyewitness reports from locals speaking of strange lights or sounds in the sky around the time of the incident were reportedly dismissed or ignored, which further fueled suspicions that crucial information was withheld from the public. Additionally, the way the bodies were handled raised questions. Some were found out of order from their search locations, and the autopsy results were not fully disclosed, leaving many unanswered questions about the exact nature of the trauma. Controversies also arose around the official explanation involving natural causes such as hypothermia or avalanche, as experts pointed out that the scene lacked typical avalanche signs and the injuries did not align with such an event. The involvement of border guards and military personnel during the recovery and investigation process also led to conjecture about secretive tests, possibly linked to the hikers' deaths. These layers of secrecy and contradiction between the forensic evidence and the official narrative have kept the Dyatlov Pass case alive in public imagination, prompting new inquiries and theories decades later. Understanding the role Soviet authorities played highlights how limitations in transparency and investigative rigor can profoundly impact the pursuit of truth in mysterious circumstances, underscoring the importance of open and thorough examination when lives hang in the balance. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most enigmatic and chilling mysteries of the 20th century, woven together by haunting evidence, strange injuries, and the layers of secrecy imposed by Soviet authorities. From the bizarre circumstances behind the hikers' deaths to the conflicting explanations and withheld information, the case challenges us to question not only what happened on that cold night, but also the truths hidden beneath official accounts. It is a potent reminder that sometimes the most perplexing mysteries endure because the veil of secrecy is never fully lifted, urging us to keep searching and questioning. If you found this story fascinating, subscribe for more intriguing mysteries and share your theories about the Dyatlov Pass incident in the comments below.